There we go. We are now recording for YouTube. Welcome to Daggerfall Unity. We're just going over how this is made by one person in Australia. Just repeat myself now. I've recently followed him on Blue Sky, so I'll be able to tell you... Hang on. Not following, not followers. That'll help me find it faster. Gavin Clayton. All one word, has a Blue Sky account. The creator and lead developer behind Daggerfall Unity. And he's now just making his next... He's working full-time on his own game project, inspired by games like Daggerfall and like Thief and Deus Ex and all that stuff. Right, so, Daggerfall. I'm going to show you my mod list, because I have a few, okay? I have a few. I've got loading... Look, the game doesn't have loading screens by default. I've added loading screens, I've got dynamic music with a orchestral soundtrack based on the original. Magic regen based on your willpower, so it's kind of balanced. A quest log that shows better details. More weapon sprites. More tooltips and interaction things that pop up and make it easier to play. Being able to see how much XP you've got in a skill, that's a mod. Ambience and lighting. Expanded textures. Most of these are graphical. Add roads, distant terrain, and skies, that kind of thing. Most of this is visual. And like fixes and stuff. Add windmills, make the cities and villages nicer, that kind of thing. So, and a few extra enemies, because why not? But mechanically, the game is vanilla. I guess except for the fact that my magic regens. But aside from that, there are no nudie mods on... Nudie mods are available if you are that kind of person. But I have player nudity disabled. There may be some topless sprites now and then. But I think it'll be fine. So we're going to jump in. Yeah, there is nudity in the base game. But the Unity version lets you remove some of it. So, that's the box art in most countries. And that's the Underking. We'll learn more about him as we go. These gorgeous sprites. Daggerfall is a very interesting entry in the series lore-wise, even if half of it has been retconned by future games. I still think it's a wonderful game. Okay, Panda, I'll try. Dragon Break is the name of their retcon. It is still a retcon. It is in-universe, but it is still a retcon. Retcon just means retroactive continuity. The retroactive continuity changed because of the Dragon Break. New game. So, where are we from? What do we play? I'll let you choose. What race do we play as? Now, if you're new to Daggerfall and you do want to get into it, I very highly recommend your first character... I highly recommend your first character be a High Elf, because High Elves in Daggerfall are immune to paralysis. And there is a lot of goddamn paralysis in Daggerfall. There's no, like, in Oblivion and Skyrim, when you have a paralysis effect, you just kind of ragdoll or go rigid and fall over. In this, you just freeze and you can't do anything for the duration of the spell. And the duration of that spell could be a minute. And if you're stuck still for a minute in combat, you're dead. So you either play as a high elf and be immune to it, or you immediately pick up the free action restoration spell. I think it's restoration, could be thaumaturgy. There's an extra magic school in this game. You get the free action spell to cure paralysis, which is the only thing you can do while paralyzed, is to remove the paralysis. But Argonian, Black Marsh, Maid Marsh, screw the elves lizard for life. And Zixgy says Dark Elf. I guess we're being an Argonian then. Argonians hail from the province of Black Marsh. You are part of a highly evolved race of reptiles known for their intelligence, agility, and speed. Because of their reptilian nature, Argonians do not tire easily when swimming. While many Argonians have successfully mastered the arts of thievery and spellcasting, there are some regarded well as warriors. Is your character to be an Argonian? Canon Nerevar, yes. Limzid, yes. Okay. So a bit of lore on Argonians, right? Argonians were basically created by the Hist. The Hist being basically a race of sentient trees. And when you are born of the Hist and you start coming of age, you can go up to one of these trees and be like, "Hey, Hist, I want to change gender. I'm not feeling this." And the Hist tree will just do it. In fact, there is a whole ceremony and party regarding this, Argonians who decide to change their gender with the power of the Hist. So, trans coming out parties are canon in Elder Scrolls. Argonians say trans rights. That's canon. Right, I will make a custom class. So we can go over everything, because there's a lot here. Because Skyrim doesn't have classes, doesn't have stats. Definitely doesn't have special advantages and disadvantages. You just level up your health, stamina, magic, and choose a perk. Class name is going to be Maid, of course it is. Right. I am going to dip my intelligence and willpower a bit. I'm going to drop a little bit of endurance as well. I'll take a bit of bonus personality and lots of speed, and you'll see why when we get started. Right, skills. We're going to go through them. Okay, alteration. Alteration magic is not levitate in this game. In this game, levitate comes under thaumaturgy, a different school. Alteration does include some magic like slow fall and water walking, and I think the open spell comes under alteration as well. Archery, self-explanatory, skill with a bow. Axe, skill with an axe. Backstabbing. You have a chance to do bonus damage if you strike an enemy sprite in their back. They're two-dimensional, so you have to like get round so their back is visible, because it cycles sprites as you go around them. So that's bonus to damage when hitting someone in the back. Blunt weapon, hammers, maces, etc. Centaurian. This is a language skill. I think there may have been plans for these to do more than they currently do in the game. Because as it is, all the language skills in this game just roll a passive chance in the background based on your skill to potentially turn a speaker of this language passive against you. So you find a dungeon and there's a centaur in there. If you're good at speaking Centaurian, he won't attack you. That's all it does. So in my opinion, the language skills kind of suck, and they're definitely not worth speccing into. Climbing is great. Climbing, you just walk into a wall and you can start climbing it in all directions. You can honestly skip some parts of dungeons by doing this, or escape guards in towns when you've committed crimes. Just climb up and just start parkouring over the rooftops. Critical strike. Now, you may think this is a crit chance skill, and if you think that, you're wrong. A critical strike just increases your hit chance. I don't know why. But yeah, it just boosts your hit chance. It's pretty good. It's a good skill to have, Because more hit chance is always good in a game like this, because you are rolling to hit, just like in Morrowind in this game, on every swing. Daedric is another language skill for Daedra, turning them passive. Destruction magic is your, well, destruction magic, fire, frost, shock, poison, etc. All those come under destruction. Dodging is your dodge chance, which is also nice to have. In the base game, the DOS version of Daggerfall, dodging as a skill was broken. And if you leveled your dodging, you would lower your own hit chance. So that's wonderful. Bethesda making buggy releases has been a thing since they formed as a company. From Arena to Skyrim, all of their releases have always been buggy and crash heavy. Even though we're running in Unity and this fixes a lot of things, thanks to developer work and mods, there's still a chance this game can crash now and then. Dragonish is another language. Etiquette. This is a social skill. Now, with social skills, hang on, I'm going to get some like background music going. Give me some... because character creation is silent otherwise. Let's just get some of this. Ooh. Yeah, that'll do. So, social skills. When you talk to an NPC out in the world, be they a noble, a peasant, or a shopkeeper, you are given 3 choices of how you wish to talk to them. Normally, polite, or blunt. Different people appreciate different things. Peasants appreciate you being blunt to them, and just straight to the point, whereas nobility will prefer you to be polite. Etiquette is your skill at being polite. So if you want to mingle with the nobility more, a bit of etiquette can get you a long way. Giantish is your skill at talking to giants, another language skill. Hand-to-hand, punching, if you want to be a monk. Harpy is the language of harpies. Illusion magic is stuff that makes you sneak better or charm people, same as the later games. Impish, another language. There's a lot of language skills. This game has like 38 skills versus Skyrim's 18, I think. Jumping, this is basically your acrobatic skill. Higher jumping, you jump higher. Lockpicking. Lockpicking in this is kind of RNG like it is in Morrowind. How you just got to sneak and interact with a door. Lockpicks, however, are not an item. You can attempt to lockpick any door you like. But this game also has another feature, which renders this skill entirely obsolete. And that is bashing locks. You can just smack a door enough and it will open eventually. Long blade. I'm going to take that as a primary skill. Long blade is... There's a lot of long blades in Daggerfall. Your skill with long blades. It's like katanas, great swords, claymores, long swords. Pretty much anything bigger than a dagger counts as a long sword. Sabers as well. There's a lot of long swords in this game, so it's a good one to take. Medical is your skill at treating your own wounds when you're resting, which can reduce rest times, but we'll get into resting later because there's a lot to do with that too. Mercantile, skill at making deals. Get 1 XP point per deal you make, so if you want to power level this, you just have to sell 1 item at a time, which is a nightmare, but... Mysticism is a good magic skill because Mysticism has the recall spell. Recall works a bit differently here than it does in Morrowind. Morrowind, Mark, and Recall were 2 separate spells you had to get. Here you just get Recall, and you set your anchor point, and then you teleport to it. Good for placing at the start of dungeons, because some of the dungeons in this game can be ridiculously huge and easy to get lost in. Just don't forget to cast it. Nymph and Orcish, 2 more language skills. You may have noticed you can't play as an orc. And that's an integral part of Daggerfall's story. This predates orcs being a part of the civilized races as much as they want to be. Orcs in this game are actually fighting for equality. It's not until Morrowind. Morrowind was the first game you could play as an orc in the Elder Scrolls. Restoration is your healing magic. Oh, skip pickpocket. I never really use pickpocket, so I don't even have an explanation prepared for that. But I think you can imagine what it would govern. Skill at stealing. There's actually a steal option in shops, so actually I do have something prepared here, and I think that's rolling pickpocket. Running, skill at running, stamina drain when running, speed when running. Speed stat, though, governs that a lot more, you'll see. Short blade, daggers, tantos, etc. Spriggan, another language. Stealth, skill at moving around unseen. Kind of levels by itself, really, when you're in a dungeon, because your stealth will just be always working, because when you're out of line of sight, but near an enemy, you're gaining sneak XP. So it's actually quite easy to level your stealth when you're wandering dungeons. Streetwise is your ability at being blunt in conversations. That's your second social skill. Swimming, skill at swimming, very rarely comes up. There's like 2 or 3 main dungeons that have water sections. And if you're carrying too much weight, you kind of just sink and walk on the bottom anyway. And then Thaumaturgy is a different spell school. Hang on a minute while I look this up. Daggerfall magic. Because Thaumaturgy got merged into like mysticism and alteration. And then I think like Skyrim removed mysticism, so we're just losing magic schools over time. Thaumaturgy includes levitate, quiet undead, spell resistance. Oh, Thaumaturgy's water walking. What's alteration include then? Alteration is jumping, paralysis, resist elements, slow fall, I was right about that, water breathing. Okay, water breathing is alteration, Thaumaturgy is water walking. Gosh hecky. Right. Also, leveling up in this game works very different to every other Elder Scrolls game. Also, the fact that this music has footsteps in the background, because it's like an relaxing walk across Morrowind, is throwing me off, so I'm going to change that video. Relaxing music compilation. Let's just do that and skip to like 7 minutes in. That'll do. No more footsteps. I forgot what I was talking about. Anyway, I'm going to pick running as another major skill. I'm going to get running, long blade. I was talking about leveling, how leveling's different. In Morrowind, and more so in Oblivion, you had to really control how you leveled up, or the enemies would scale past you. Oblivion was worse for this. Oblivion was so bad for it, in fact, that it's honestly discouraged leveling any further past like 28, I think? Somewhere in the 20s. Because enemies will keep scaling, but your power does have a cap. The enemies do not. So the game will just get harder from then on. Morrowind is kinda similar, but with less aggressive scaling, so you can get away with not being optimal, really. It's fine. Oblivion, you've really got to power game it, or you'll just get outclassed, and then avoid leveling. Just never go to bed once you're level 30. Daggerfall doesn't care about that. Daggerfall, you will level up like leveling your primary major skills, like in the later games. But you'll just be given a random amount of stat points to assign, and that's it. It does scale enemies, and it does scale loot, but you'll always gain roughly the same amount of power per level up, regardless of how you level. So you take things that will level fast, like running. Running levels very fast. And put things like climbing here as well, because I'm going to be doing a lot of that. I'll have climbing as a major. I'm going to have Thaumaturgy, Restoration, and Mysticism as minor skills, because I do want to be doing some of that. What does my third one will be Critical Strike, yeah. Just so I have higher hit chance. Because if you don't know what you're doing and you pick a random assortment of things here, you can gimp your hit chance to the point where the early game is incredibly painful. Incredibly painful. Also, there are no armor skills here. Those were added in Morrowind, light, medium, and heavy armor. You can wear whatever you want, with exceptions, and we'll get to those. We'll get to the exceptions. Because the special advantages and disadvantages are huge in this game and very character defining, can change your whole game. We'll get to those once we've picked our skills. I'm gonna take Streetwise as a major skill, because you do need to talk to peasants quite often to get information. That's also why I shot up my personality a tiny bit. I'm actually going to push it up more. Actually, I'm not going to drop my int that much. I will push personality to 60, though. I'm actually going to drop my agility to get more speed. You think you gimped your hit chance. Hit chance is determined by your agility. Like, 50 agility is base. If you're 5 below that, you have -1 to hit, and so forth. Every 5 above, +1. If you have a primary skill in the weapon you want to use, and decent crit strike, you'll have pretty okay hit chance. We'll get to how you can also improve it in just a moment, because the advantages and disadvantages come into play there too. I think I'll take... What else do I want? What do I want to be good at? Actually, just... Can I back out of this? Just put fucking Daedric there. I'm going to put I'm going to put Restoration here, actually, instead. Restoration can be... I think I need to remove it from here. There. I'm going to have Restoration as a major. I can have a minor of dodging. That's fine. You can level all of these, by the way. But there is an exception. Once you reach 100% in a skill, you cannot master any other skill. All your other skills will be capped at 95%. You can only be a master of one thing in this game. You can be very good at everything, but you can only fully master one skill. There are mods to change that if you don't like that. I guess Mercantile, I want to be half decent at that. I'll take Etiquette. Is there anything else that would really help me? Medical, sure, why not? Right, advantages and disadvantages. Skill advancement for class. Depending on your advantages and disadvantages, this little dagger here will rise, or the dagger may fall. If it falls, because you've taken a lot of disadvantages, you can level up at with only a third of the XP needed. If you give yourself tons of advantages, it can be 3 times slower to level up. So I'm going to go over my advantages first, because there's a lot of these. Acute hearing. Boosts your hearing range. Useless. Don't bother. Adrenaline rush. I forget what it does. I'm going to bring up the list. I can't remember everything, okay? Character creation advantages. Classmaker. Yeah, that's the page. Adrenaline rush. When you're low on health, gain bonuses to combat-related attributes. There. Acute stream. Shut up. Acute limbs. Stop. The communal brain cell's at it again, isn't it? Athleticism reduces your stamina consumption when running, jumping, climbing, swimming, and makes you jump a little higher. Only not much. What I'm interested in is expertise. Bonus to hit is like a bonus to hit,
Valerie,
but it
please.
only counts for one of these.
Stop slouching.
Every creature comes under one of these in this game. I'm going to back out of that. I'm going to take expertise in Long Blade. You'll notice this barely moved, but I will now hit more often and harder with long blades, which are my primary skill. I barely touched it. I'm also going to take increased magery. I clicked the wrong thing. I'm going to take increased magery. So at base, if you don't take any perks, your magic cap is half your intelligence, which sucks. If you want to cast anything, you need one of these. So you will have either your int or up to 3 times your int in spell points. Also, it's not called Magicka in Daggerfall. That came about in Morrowind. It's just spell points or spell power. I'm going to take double my int in spell points. That raised it a fair bit more. Right, immunity. This is huge. You can just make yourself straight up immune to magic. Which can just completely change the game when you're facing a wizard, because some powerful wizards and liches and vampires can really mess you up with magic. But if I take that, that jumps right up there. I'm not going to be immune to magic. See, the game-changing half of these. Some are useless, but some are game-changing. Be immune to poison, disease, fire, frost, magic, poison. You are immune to magic. Restoration magic, I think, is still magic. So yeah, I think so. I've not actually played with immunity to magic before, so I might have to test that. Rapid healing. Now, you have rapid healing and regenerate health, and these are different things. Rapid healing makes you heal faster when you're resting. Regenerate health gives you a very, very slow health regeneration. It's expensive to take as well, and it's not worth it. Rapid healing's alright if you don't want to be resting around too much, I guess. But the way leveling skills works in this is also different, because when you've leveled a skill, it doesn't immediately go up. It then caps itself at like 100% of a level up. And only when you rest for 6 hours does it then go up a point. It's not just your acrobatics has increased. No. No. I've got a mod that tells me when a level is ready. So it's like, you feel you've learned enough in jumping to advance. And then I'm like, alright, I'll have a nap. Right. You also have spell absorption, just in general, in darkness or in light. So that allows you to just nullify any direct damage spells. Not spells with non-damaging effects. You'll still be hit by paralysis and things like that. And general means everywhere. In darkness just means interior. If you're inside a dungeon, doesn't matter how bright or dark the dungeon is, it counts as in darkness. In light means out in the open world. So generally, if you're choosing in darkness, it's more expensive than in light. It's come leaps and bounds. But there's a little exploit with that, actually, with absorbing magic. Because you absorb the magic as spell points, right? If you cast an area of effect destruction spell at the ground, you can hit your enemies and yourself and have infinite magic. It's hilarious how broken it is. Honestly, I think the ways these games can be broken are very fun. Right, I think I'm just going to take those two. I'm not going to overcomplicate things. Special disadvantages. These will make the dagger fall. I had to fit it in again. I know I've already done it once. Critical weakness. Low tolerance as well. So low tolerance is for like, you will have a harder time against these things. Critical weakness is the increased version of that. So if I have a critical weakness to fire, if someone throws a fireball at me, I'll fucking explode. But if you take a critical weakness, say if I take a critical weakness to paralysis, look at that. All from like here to here. I'm below average now. Above, because I'm toward the easy level up. So that's good. I plan on getting free action near immediately and putting it on a hotkey. So I'll just have to get that ready at all times. Damage from sunlight or holy places. You could roleplay a vampire. You can also become a vampire and a werewolf in Daggerfall, but there's also a third thing you can become, and that is a wereboar. You could become a wereboar in Daggerfall. You just turn into a big hairy boar pigman. Paralysis, weakness, and a high elf. In the DOS version, the immunity would overwrite that. And it would make it very easy to make an overpowered character. In Daggerfall Unity, they changed that. If you take a critical weakness to paralysis as a high elf, your 100% resistance drops to 50%. It's still very good. And I would still recommend it. What you can also do is forbid certain armor types, materials, shields, and weaponry. And the inability to regenerate spell points when... Usually that only happens when you're resting because of a mod. I regenerate based on my willpower, but that would also break it with that. Light-powered magery. This means... Okay, you have light-powered and darkness-powered. Meaning if you're in the light, you either have less magic or you can't use magic at all. This means it just lowers your total spell power, your total magicka, in daylight and night, respectively. A phobia reduces your hit chance and damage to a category of creatures and increases their hit chance and damage on you. So that can mess you over. Creature, you can take it for creatures like animals, because early game you'll be coming across bears and bats and stuff. But past early game, they're not really a threat because they're like the lowest tier of enemies, kinda. So you could take animals. You might have a rough time in the early game because there are some bears and bats in the starter dungeon. Forbidden weaponry. Honestly, you could take, say like, yeah, no, I can't use blunt weapons. Just can't. You can also forbid a material. Depending on the material, it gives you different amounts of points. So if I pick iron, barely drops at all. If I pick steel... Wait, no, I keep picking the wrong thing. Forbidden material, steel? Look at that. I could roleplay having a... I've got a steel allergy. I can't wear steel. Nah, it doesn't agree with my skin. I come out in all kinds of a rash. But steel is much more common. Iron isn't that big of a deal because you're replacing iron very quickly. Steel is a lot more common, therefore it's more more power on the skill advancement chart. So I could forbid myself from wearing steel. And now that I'm down here, I might as well give myself another advantage. I could take athleticism. Why not? Actually, if I take spell absorption general, that pushes me way back up to average. I could though. I could. And just have a normal playthrough and then just absorb all magic. Or damaging magic. I have a resistance to magic? And still be pretty powerful there. I'm not going to do that though. I am going to take... Yeah, no, I'll just take athleticism, it's fine. And then I'll give myself maximum 12 hit points per level. You can also go to your reputations and edit these. So it starts off all neutral, and as it is, you'll have to like do some deeds to boost one. Boosting one reputation can lower another. That's important to know, and each faction has their own reputation meter as well. So if you work for the Mages Guild, or I can't remember who's allies with and who's enemies with the Mages Guild. I'm going to have to look up factions. Hang on. Because this is a whole goddamn thing. Also, if you want to play this game, don't be afraid of looking things up. Because this game came originally with a 90-page manual, which also included a lot of lore and background information and art. But still, 90 pages. Alright, I need to find the page that shows political affiliations. The mages don't get on well with merchants. So scholars include the Mages Guild. So if I take like 2 points or 3 points in scholars, I then have to balance it out. So I take -3 in merchants. That kind of thing. Nobility is like You do have to deal with nobility a lot in the game, because you get a lot of quests from like dukes and kings and queens and such. Underworld is like Thieves Guild, Dark Brotherhood, which are joinable in this game. So if you work for the nobility, I think some of the nobility will have you do like smuggling missions behind the Thieves Guild's back, and the Thieves Guild don't like that. So when you do quests for the nobility, the Thieves Guild, you get a minus to their reputation. And if your reputation is low enough, you're not even allowed to join the guild. Sometimes you'll just get attacked on sight. Because we have these overarching reputations, right? You have faction reputations, and then you have provincial reputations. So if you like attack people out in the open, like in the city of Daggerfall, if you do that a whole bunch, it's like, yeah, you'll be wanted for murder and stuff. But even if you like pay off that bounty or serve your time, the guards are going to hate you. Sometimes to the point where you will just be attacked on sight. Now, reputations do trend towards 0 over time, regardless if they're positive or negative, but it's very slow. It's like 1 point toward 0, like every few months. So you gotta like keep active. They're not gonna love you forever, and they're not gonna hate you forever. I'm gonna leave all these at neutral for now, but I just wanted to go over them all to explain. But I think this is what we're going with for our advantages, disadvantages, and skills. So, okay. I would like to choose my career path by answering 12 important career decisions to influence my background. Right. After the School of Restoration, what magic have you been studying the longest? So this will give me a little skill bonus to one of them. I'm going to say mysticism. What motivates you into a life of adventure? I don't remember what this one alters. I'm going to go helping others. In between formal study, you spent your time. This is also, like, that'll be mercantile, economic. Street smarts will be streetwise skill. Socializing with aristocrats will be an etiquette bonus. Acrobatics will be a jumping bonus. Sparring will be hand-to-hand, and swimming is, well, swimming, oddly enough. I'm going to go street smarts. Since childhood, you have saved 100 gold pieces, a favourite book, cuirass, or a buckler. This is a starting bonus item. I'm going to go with a cuirass. In gratitude for services rendered, the Emperor gave you... he gave me an ebony dagger. I didn't pick short blade as a skill, but that ebony dagger you get in these questions is very powerful. As you grew older, you received additional magical training in restoration. As a child, your nickname was... These also affect stats. So, rabbit would be jumping, I think. Monkey would be climbing. Quicksilver's probably running. Let's go rabbit. You're friendlier than most with... Which language skill do we want a bonus in? I guess Daedra. Of all disagreeable types, you have a personal hatred for... So this will lower my reputation with someone. So nobility, scholars, peasants, underworld. I'm going to go with assassins. You are intimate friends with... I'm not sure what this one would alter. But I got very intimate with a mage once. What god do you worship, if any? So people may realise there's a missing god here. And that missing god is Talos. I hate assassins, but I was intimate with one. Was. That's why I'm so... that's why I hate them now. So, this is before Talos rose to divine status. So, Talos isn't a thing yet. I'm kind of going to go with Akatosh because, dragon. You have most trouble resisting poisons, avoiding diseases, fighting without magic, staying awake and alert, getting along with others, resisting magic. Yeah, I'm EP. I'm so EP. Right. So I am now... The underworld actually like me more. Merchants and scholars unchanged. Commoners like me a bit more. The nobility don't. We'll see how that goes. Name thyself. Iggy. Oddly enough. Choose thy face. I guess I'll go with this one because it's kind of blonde. It's got yellow on it. You know, that's me. That looks just like me, right? That looks just like me. Right, now you're going to roll some dice. Now we're going to roll some dice. Right, I want to get my speed as high as possible. So I'm going to re-roll until I've got like 14 points. It all goes into speed. I'm going to save that, and I'm going to re-roll another couple times and see if I can get it higher. I can get it to 94. You know what? That's probably fine. Actually, 93, 55. Actually, how high do I need to get that to get +1? Oh god, is it not +1 till 60 actually? Was I talking shit? I was talking shit. You know what, no, I'll level that myself. It'll be fine. Look, my speed is going to be so high, it's not going to matter. Brandishes her duster. God damn it. No, not quite, not quite. Oh, do I want less than 50 endurance, though, to start? No. 91 speed will do. We have 86 spell points because we have double our int and spell power. Our strength is around average. Agility is around average. Good personality. Very, very good speed. And somewhat lucky. Well, average luck. Tiny bit above average luck. Right, I'm now going to stop the old music there. Because these are our stats. And we're ready to go. No, we're not. I forgot about the bonus points. Alright. Put it all in Longblade. Put it all in... Yeah, I'll take 40 and 28 there. Climbing, I'll level up myself easily. Here, I'll take... a bit of etiquette and some medical. I'll level up the rest as I go. Okay, now we're ready, right? Reflexes. Forget so many things. Player reflexes determine the overall speed of the game. If you pick very high reflexes, the monsters will move and attack quickly, forcing you to be quick with the controls. Very low reflexes means the monsters will move and attack very slowly, allowing you to adopt a more cautious, thoughtful playstyle. Your character will advance a little slower with lower reflexes and advance faster with higher reflexes. I'm going to go high reflexes. Confirmation of everything. And now we're ready to start.
400 years after Tiberseptim's reign, the beginning will meet the end, and the bloody circle will close at the Empire of Tamriel. The unworthy heirs of the Septim dynasty have allowed the bonds of the Empire to weaken and crack. Uriel Septim the Seventh cannot repair what his ancestors ignored. The provinces fight among themselves like neglected children, drunk with rebellion, and one indomitable power hides itself, but not forever.
Yeah, there's a lot of civil unrest going on. Uriel Septim the Seventh. The same Uriel Septim from Oblivion. And Morrowind. He's mentioned in Morrowind too.
Excuse the gloom.
That's Patrick Stewart right there.
But
it's not.
none may know of this meeting.
But he will be.
The nature of my trouble is darker still.
In 10 years.
Over a year ago, King Lysandus of Daggerfall died honorably on the field of battle. He was as loyal a subject, ally, and friend as you are. I did grieve for him. But his spirit does not rest. With a spectral army, he haunts his former kingdom, crying for revenge. I do not know why a good and loyal man would be so cursed. Perhaps you can find the answer and close the marble jaws of oblivion, bringing peace to his soul.
He said the thing.
I ask this as your emperor and your friend. I have one lesser request. Several years ago, I wrote a letter to the Queen of Daggerfall. It never arrived. The letter was of a sentimental and personal nature. If you find and destroy that letter, I will be grateful. Now, my champion, rest well this night, for tomorrow you sail for the kingdom of Daggerfall.
So that was Uriel Septim and High Chancellor Okato beside him holding the torch there, who does feature in the future games as well. And yes, this is the only mainline Elder Scrolls game where you do not start as a prisoner. You are a friend of the Emperor. We are sent to discover the true fate of King Lysandus and find a mysterious letter and destroy it. So then we go from Cyrodiil by boat all the way around the outskirts. We go south, down past Elsewhere, around the Somerset Isles, and all the way up to Hammerfell, which is where Daggerfall is, I think, if I've got my provinces right. Not provinces, countries. But, anyway, I'll just read this. You wake and look around the room. Some hours ago, you were in a boat en route to Daggerfall, when a storm of supernatural strength boiled over the Iliac Bay like a malefic creature. Your boat was destroyed, but you managed to swim through the churning water to a promontory rock. There, you found a cave and escaped the fury of the storm. You'd only just lit a small fire when a mudslide sealed you within. Your fear of being buried alive calmed when you saw the corridor leading out of the cavern. Perhaps there is a way out of this cave after all. Once free of the cave, you can begin the Emperor's quest. No, I'm good. I don't need a tutorial. Right. Okay, we're in. Daggerfall. It's me. Oh, good. It's made of iron. I can use it. It's steel I can't use. So, the quality of the weapon also influences its hit chance. Iron weapons have a negative to hit and damage. Steel are neutral, and then every quality above that has a rising bonus. Get that rune longsword. Some of the swords do look like rune because as the qualities improve, it's pretty much just the color of the blade that changes. So I think Mithril is blue in this, which is a higher quality. It's like Elven, Mithril, there's a few others. Silver, Elven, Mithril, I think. Adamant, Orcish, Daedric. I think. I might be missing a couple, but we'll see when we get there. So even though I'm not skilled in Ebony Dagger, I could still equip it. And because it's Ebony, which is I forgot Ebony, didn't I? Ebony's up there too. This is why I pick high speed, by the way. Speed affects your swing speed. No, I don't want to dual wield. And it becomes pretty silly if you have 100 speed and you have a great sword. I know the buttons. I've also... Yep, I've bound quick save to a mouse button. This game will kill you. It's part of the game. You will die. You should expect it. 10 gold. Okay. So, like, honestly, it's not uncommon to just save every time you have a fight, or if you've just not saved in a minute. Ooh, fuck. I forgot about the imp room. Okay. Oh god, yeah. I need the dagger. My iron sword cannot hurt that. There. Okay. See, even though I have... Hang on, where do I show my character sheet? I forget. Journal? No. You are healthy. Good. Escape? No. I forget the buttons. It's been a minute. Character sheet is on F5. Of course. Why would it be anything else? Long blade, ready to level up. Yeah, my short blade is level 5. But I hit like 4 times in a row with that because Ebony is giving me a massive bonus to hit. It's great. Dragon scales. Used in alchemy. You can't actually make your own potions in this. You collect the ingredients and then you follow very specific recipes at an alchemist to make potions. And alchemists in this game do not sell potions. They only sell ingredients. Is 300-ish a lot? No. No, it's not. Actually, I'm now going to rest for 6 hours. There. Stealth, short blade, and long blade have improved. I should have a spell book already, yeah. I have Shock, Chameleon, and Slow Fall. Alright. I'm going to want to find a Mage's Guild so I can learn new spells. Oh, also you should see the map. You have a full 3D map, and you will need this. Because, oh my gosh. Some of the dungeons get incredibly complex with many flaws. Yeah, alchemy's not a skill in this. Yeah, I'm still kind of weak because I'm level 1. So if something hits me, it's gonna hurt. You can kind of juke him a bit if you go back and forth with enough speed, but it's difficult. Steel. I can't wear steel. Get some boots though. That's +3 to armor, so is that. Okay. Potion recipe. Using red berries, ichor, and a lodestone, you can make a potion of resist shock. A mace. Also, when you're selling things, the value is vastly determined by the material the item is made of. Like, it's basically a value multiplier. And it gets so silly to the point where a couple of Daedric pieces will be worth over like 100 grand. And gold has money in this game, by the way. I'm carrying 122 gold pieces. That's 0.31 kilograms. It will get to the point, when you've played this game enough, you will have so much money you can't carry it. You can put it in a wagon. You can purchase a wagon at a point, which lets you carry more. Gold has money. Gold has weight. Look, I'm gushing a bit about this game, so I will stumble my words from time to time. If you have so much money you can't carry it because it weighs too much, you can go to a bank and you can turn that money into a letter of credit. And you can just carry around a freaking checkbook of different letters of credit to hand to merchants instead of real money. RuneScape banknotes, yeah. Except it's just for money, not for items. Actually, I am quite injured from that fight with a person. I'm going to sit down for another 6 hours. Level up my short blade again. Save. Can never save enough. You can also buy a horse. You can buy a house. The housing market in Daggerfall is completely buggered, by the way. Houses cost like 400 grand. Oh, come here. Come. Oh, what? Come. No, come here. By the way, another option I'm using, which is unique to Daggerfall Unity, which I don't think I can access it from here. In the base game, to attack, you had to hold click
Valerie.
and swing your
Water.
viewpoint.
Stop
And
slouching.
you would swing your weapon in that direction. Which sucks. Thank you for the hydrate. Daggerfall Unity introduces click to attack, and you can just hold click. Which is great, because when your speed is high, you don't want to be mashing click all that often. Because you'll ruin your fingers and get carpal tunnel. This dungeon always has the same layout, yes. Every dungeon does. The game is procedurally generated, but it's always procedurally generated with the same seed. So even though it's random, it's always in the same way for everyone. See that? I just attacked that door to open it even though it was locked. You don't need lock picking. I've leveled up my critical strike. I'm going to hide in this room and have another rest. No, I'm not, because there's still enemies nearby. I'm going to quick save. I'm going to run around panicking, because I don't know where I can sleep. But yeah, there's always an imp there. If you do not have an ebony dagger, chances are you're not going to have a weapon that you can attack that imp with. And that is teaching you to fucking run sometimes. You can't win every fight. You're not a special chosen one. You're not some invincible dragonborn. At least in the beginning. There are ways to get extremely overpowered in this game. I think there's always a skeleton around here. I fell off. But yeah, there he is. Whoop. Now this guy is quite likely to kill me. So I'm going to run into the wall and climb up. And get away from him. Because he can't climb. And then I'm going to save. Because I fell off. Good. Okay. Bethesda free games to make Khajiit look like Khajiit. Every form of Khajiit in every game is canon. Khajiits used to just kind of look like another kind of human. And then they were humanish with a tail. And then they were actual cat people with funny legs. And then cat people with normal legs. All of these Khajiit are canon. All the forms of Argonians are canon. It's just based on the history's desires and the Argonians' desires. That's the exit to the dungeon, but I'm trying to find a place to rest. So the form of the Argonian is determined by the history. The form of the Khajiit is determined by the position of the two moons. I'm going to go outside. Am I? Or am I going to crash? Oh, have we had our first crash? Oh, no, we have not. We're good. We're good. We're good. Whew. Save. So, it's not the middle of the night. I was hoping it would be night outside so I could show you the moons. I want to heal to full. Oh, I've leveled up. I get 4 stat points. Speed 95. The trees are modded. Base game has 2-dimensional billboard sprites for trees. I downloaded a 3D trees and rocks mod. And also a wildlife mod that adds birds. Dynamic skies. This game looks a lot better than the original DOS version. Much better. The Unreal port. Someone made an Unreal port? I'm only aware of the Unity port, which is what I'm playing, and which is the best way to play Daggerfall. But yes, beautiful. So, hang on, let me just rest a few more hours. What time is it? Okay, it's getting late. Rest another 3 hours. There we go. Can we see the moons? I can see a light over there. That's another mod. Oh, there's one over there. That's Secunda, I think. Can't see the other moon at the moment. There's 2 moons, Massa and Secunda. Secunda's the smaller one. Smaller second one, Secunda. Massa's the big first one. Big one. That's how you remember. Depending on the phases of these moons, when a Khajiit is born, determines what kind of Khajiit it'll be. And you get all the different forms you've seen in all the Elder Scrolls games, all of them, even the ones with the funny legs in Morrowind, to also just straight up house cats and lions and tigers, oh my. It just depends on the phase of the moon when they're born. All Khajiit, from birth to before they hit puberty, all look the same. They're all just little cats. It's when puberty kicks in is when they turn into their fully fledged form. You're standing on a tent? Come here. Yeah, I'm just going to keep swinging. If you get in the way, it's your own fault. +3 armor, +3. I don't have a left pauldron. I'll take that. Someone's shooting me. I saw an arrow fly by. Okay. Iron chain boots, +6 armor. Yep, I'll equip those. Get rid of the leather ones. Stuff like leather and iron is not really worth keeping to sell. It's not worth very much. A map. Steel boots, I can't wear them. Steel claymore, can't use it. Use map. Denori Laboratory. So that's a dungeon. I'll show you the map in a sec. I said I was just going to do the first dungeon, but I got out of there kind of fast, so I'm going to deal with this a bit first. Hang on, let me climb this wall. Oh, fucking hell, they nearly killed... Yep, they killed me. Hey, you get to see the game over screen. I'll be skipping this from this point on, but you know. Just so you get to see it at least once. You died a warrior's death. Yeah, I'm sure I did. Quick load. My only quick save is... Hang on. No. That... Yeah, there we go. Yeah, actual loading screens. This is before I leveled. Yeah, it doesn't matter. I'm going to go touch that rock again because this mod just adds these little sky shards in important locations around the game world. I just think it's neat. Gives a little more extra things to look for in the open world rather than nothing. I'm just going to touch that and run away. So the map of Daggerfall is immense. It is basically the size of the UK. Like 1-to-1. There's over 70,000 square miles here. Downside is most of it's empty. There is a lot to find here though. All of these regions you can go to. All of them. We're currently in the region of Daggerfall. Here. Privateer's Hold. So our ship in the storm came up here, was like, bleh, and I managed to get over here. The distance from here to here would probably take you a few minutes to run. Real time. In fact, Gothway Garden is going to be our first stop. So I'm going to go to Gothway Garden. I'm going to show you how this works. Because you get options for fast travel. If you travel cautiously and stop at inns, you have chance you will arrive fully healed when you get there with no... Like, cautiously means you have time to heal. Recklessly means go there as fast as possible and don't stop. If you're on foot or by horse, that affects the travel time. If you were by ship, well, if you were going over by ship, because you can... Hang on. I want to zoom out the map. How do I zoom out the map? There. Say you wanted to go from Daggerfall to Sentinel over here. You would rather take a boat, right? Just go, boop. And you'd be there in like a couple weeks. Or you could go all the way around. All the way around. Cut across this lake. Probably at the shallow bit, so over here. All the way around here. All the way down here. Around this inlet. And there. And that would probably take you a year. Actually, no. Let's see. If I click Sentinel, it would take me 40 days going cautiously, 20 recklessly. Okay. 20 days of non-stop walking. Save on fares. Yeah, but once you've played the game a fair bit, money's not really a big deal. So I'm going to go here. So if you're camping out, that costs less. But you have a chance of being ambushed. You stop at inns, it would save a trip cost, but if I say camp out and go cautiously, this becomes a player-controlled journey. So if I hit go now, it will fast forward in the direction of that town, so you can see how far away it was. Like, my character's just gunning it at 10 times real speed. So that took, like, what, 15 seconds? So if I was sprinting the way here, that would have taken a couple, 2.5 minutes to run across one square of one province. 2 minutes to go from there to there. 1 pixel. This map is huge. Legitimately. And the towns are also quite big. Like, this isn't even a capital or anything, and it puts frickin' Whiterun to shame. All the green ones are taverns, orange ones are shops, and blue are guilds. So if I were to... Hang on. If I go this way... I'm not in Skyrim, I will fight you, Phoebes. Right. I go into this general store. Dr. Mordestier's gear. Oh, is it locked? Oh, what time is it? It's 8:15. Okay, let me... You can't rest in towns, by the way, either. Right, but if you rest in towns, it's not loitering, it's vagrancy, and that's a crime. You can go to... No, you can't. You can't go to Skyrim in Daggerfall. In Arena, you can. So if you try to rest, you'll get arrested. If you just loiter, though, that's fine. Right, I can get my level again. I actually got more stat points that time. Right, save again. No, I was just going over the map. The map stops at the Rofgarian Mountains. If I bring up a map of Tamriel... High Rock, not Hammerfell. Silly me. Let me find a large image here and I'll put it on screen. Just give me a sec. Open image. Okay. And show monitor. That's not showing the monitor. Why is that not working? What if I turn off game capture? Device not connected or available. Oh, sick. Is it that one? There we go. Okay. Right. So this is map of Tamriel. We have basically this. Like half of High Rock and a portion of Hammerfell. That's where this game is limited to. And it's that big. Oblivion, you had all of Cyrodiil, which is technically more landmass, but, you know, it's shrunk down because limitations. Morrowind, you only had the island of Vardenfell, not mainland Morrowind at all. And then Skyrim, oh, you also had Solstheim. Skyrim, you get Skyrim plus Solstheim with the expansion. You go to Solstheim twice. Fancy that. Why are there so many falling weapons in this area? Daggerfall got its name from one of the first lords or like chieftains of the area marking his land by literally throwing his dagger into the ground to mark it. Hammerfell is called that because this is where like an ancient divine relic hammer fell on the land. Was it Volendrung or was it a different hammer? I can't remember. It's one of them. It's definitely one of the hammers of all time. So a great big fancy important hammer fell down there. Not actually on the mainland of Morrowind, you want a refund. Because someone rimmed the sky. I don't know where every name came from. Well, I'm not that much an expert on the lore. I would have to look things up. You know what my memory's like. Right, anyway, I've loitered a bit. Can I go in now? Still not open. Why are you not open? 2 hours. Be open by 11, surely. There. The shop is better appointed than many. Its wares lie neatly on the shelves. Although not fit for a king, all are skillfully crafted. This is a hint at the shop's wealth level. Yeah. So, depending on the shop's wealth level will determine the kind of gear you can find in there and the kind of deals you can make. A rich store is probably going to give you worse prices than a poor store, but a poor store isn't going to have anything good to sell you. So this is the dude. We can talk to him. So this is the dialogue interface. We have polite, normal, and blunt. This guy's a shopkeeper, so I'll just be normal. You can ask where different things are. Like, where can I find the Bank of Daggerfall? Where can I find each different shop? Greetings, where can I find your shop? You found it, you're in it. People, things, you can ask for, like, quest stuff. You can interact with the shop shelf, and we can buy and sell things. Including a horse. A horse will cost me 1,000 gold, so I'm going to save up for that. I also want a cart, preferably to be pulled by the horse. I will sell you... Oh, I can't sell you that here, can I? Wait, no, do I talk to you to sell, don't I? Yeah. I will... Oh, I don't want to sell you my longsword. No, okay, he doesn't want anything. Info, horse. A horse. You wonder how the shopkeeper placed this animal entirely on a shopping shelf. Weighs 800 kilos, worth 1,000 gold. Hang on, I can't really move out the way enough, but yeah, the guy is selling an upper garment that covers breasts. There's definitely some revealing clothing you can buy in this game. And this. With spikes on it. You want to look cool, I guess? While also being tremendously lewd. But yeah, I'll be trying to get a horse pretty soon. I'm gonna ask around. Hey, you. I'll be blunt because you're a peasant. Where's the Mages Guild? Hi, how do I get to the Mages Guild? Yes, I can tell you it's away northwest of here. Northwest. The only guild northwest is this one. So I guess it's that one. When you do find a location, it does mark it on your map, and that will stay there if you ever return to this town, even though there are hundreds of towns. Actually, there's thousands of towns. This is a temple. I went northeast, I'm very smart. I get my east and west mixed up a lot, okay? I'll get there. The other East. That's the Mages Guild. I don't have much intelligence, okay. Hi, can I join the guild? You're worthy to join the Mages Guild. As an apprentice, you can use the Spellmaker and get training in any of the guild's skills. Later, you'll become eligible to use the library, buy magical items, and even make your own. Are you interested in joining? Yeah. Then henceforth, you'll be known as Iggy, apprentice of the Mages Guild. It will take patience and hard effort to gain access to all the guild offers, my child, but I can now give you access to our trainers and our Spellmaker. Too much power and too little time has destroyed many a man and woman. The Mages Guild is nothing if not conscientious. So, as you do rank up, you do gain access to new services, depending on which guild you join. You are the Spellmaker. A difference here is that you do not need to know a spell to make a spell. So like in Morrowind and Oblivion, you needed to say, if you wanted to make your own healing spell, you needed to know a healing spell to make your own version. But here, the Spellmaker is quite interesting. Right, I definitely want a free action spell, because you choose how long it lasts. So it will last 1 second, plus 1 second per level in the skill of the magic school. That's how that works. So if I just say, I just want it to be a quick cure, I can make it, I can only make it free magic is the minimum. Yeah, so 1 plus 1 second every 2 levels. And that will cost me 20. Spell name. Cure Paralysis. I have to say something. You will be known as Iggy, apprentice of the Mages Guild. Haha. Larboard is unemployed. We use it to replace East. North Larboard. Thing is, I would remember that. Deary me. Right, and that's on caster only. It's not fire, cold, poison, or shock based. It is just magic. You can make it on touch, target, area around you, or an area that you shoot it at. And you can add multiple effects to the spells as well. You can very easily power level magic in this game. Say you have Alteration, Mysticism, and Thaumaturgy as things that level you up. Spell cost is how much money it's going to cost me to buy this spell, to have it made for me. Casting cost is how many magic points it'll cost me to cast it. But if you add an effect, say like you add slow fall, water breathing, and something else that mysticism does, and then just spam cast it, you will level up all 3 of them. You'll level up all 3 of those magic schools. Even if, because spell XP is on spells cast. It does not scale with the level of the spell. So if you want to level restoration, you just make a cheap restoration spell of like 1 point of healing and just spam cast it until you run out of magic and you'll level up your restoration. Yeah, Cure Paralysis, that's what I want. What icon do I want for it? A lot of these are added mod icons. These are what you would normally have selection of, just these. What to me says Cure Paralysis? How would I remember? I could make it a shoe because movement. That makes sense to me. I could make it a gust of wind around my legs. Oh yeah, let's make it that. Right, I would like to buy that. The spell has been inscribed. Exit. Right, so now if I open my spell list, I can Cure Paralysis for 5 points, and I can assign it to hotkey 1. So now whenever I press 1, I will cure myself of paralysis. Which is good because I made myself very weak to paralysis. The only issue is, it doesn't actually cure it. It puts it on hold. So I'll have to keep casting it. While that effect is on the upper left, the paralysis effect will also be active. Which I kind of forgot about. I should have made the spell last longer. As soon as your spell runs out, the paralysis will kick in again. I don't know where to rest in here. I've only played through Daggerfall once, by the way. So chances are high I'm going to get lost. Identify magic items. What are you? Training? Maybe there'll be some beds upstairs. Look at this wizard. Teleportation wizard. Oh yeah, I will need to learn the recall spell. Daedra summoning. That's a whole thing. So, the game has a real calendar that it follows day by day. And it goes over the course of a year. So I can see that it is 11:53 on Turdus, the 5th of Morningstar. Every Daedra that you know of, say like Shea Gorath or Hercene, etc., they have their own summoning day. 1 per year. If you miss the summoning day, you have to wait another year to summon them. So you got to prep in advance and be like, all right, so I'll get to summon Hermaeus Mora, but only in February. February the 12th. Oh shit, it's February 14th. Crap. Daedra summonings also have a chance to fail. So definitely save scum the shit out of that, because Daedra summonings cost you like 200 grand. But that's how you get Daedric artifacts in this game. You gotta summon a Daedra on their day, succeed, and not get cock-blocked by frickin' Shea Gorath, because there is a flat chance that Shea Gorath will just interrupt the summoning ritual and you'll just summon him instead, because he's so wild like that. And then you'll end up doing his quest instead for the Wabberjack. There's the Wabberjacks in this game. I think Ogma Infinium's in this game. I can't remember all the artifacts, but I'm sure we'll get a few as we play through this. But that is where we're going to wrap up the first part of Daggerfall. Joined the Mages Guild. I got out of the first dungeon, and I've gone over a lot of the mechanics in a major info dumpy kind of way that is probably not going to be remembered by everyone. So if you do have questions about how anything in the game works, feel free to ask me and I'll do my best to answer. If it's lore related, I may falter a bit depending on if my memory is behaving that day. But that's going to be the end of the stream. I'm going to level up my climbing. Whee! And then fall off the wall, because I have a fail chance as well. Right, well, let's make a full save. Save, enter a save name. Oh, save name's up here. Stream, save. There, done. All right. So we're going to wrap up there. 13, the 4-star Dagger Ball. I'll try. Find out next time on Daggerfall Z. Oops, all poison. Or we'll get to poison. Poison's a nightmare in this game, as well as diseases. If you get poisoned, you have to check your... Anyway, one more thing. You check your little screen here that gives you a summary. And it will say, you are poisoned, or you are diseased. And if you're poisoned, you take health damage kind of slowly over time. And if you don't realize this, and you say, hey, I'm going to travel over to the next region, which will take 119 hours of real time. We're not going to do that. If you do fast travel via inns, it does skip and just gives you a loading screen. But if you're poisoned and you try to make a long journey, you'll die halfway. It will say you did not make the journey and you are dead, game over. So save early, save often, and in multiple slots. Because this is from an age where games were not afraid to let you fuck up. And you will. And you should come to expect it. Like, sometimes a fight is just going to kill you. And you'd be like, alright, I can't take that at the moment, I'll have to come back later. or try and save scum it, I guess. Okay, we're going to wrap up for real though. So we've had a bonus hour and a half on today's stream of Daggerfall. I hope you have enjoyed yourself. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. Oh, I shouldn't alt tab just yet. If you're watching on YouTube, thank you. You can find all the links to our social medias and stream information in the description beneath the like button. And if you're watching live, those are now in chat. I know I said this at the end of Hard Space, but you know, this is going to be a different video on the YouTube, so I'm just saying it again to get it all out there. Right. So, thank you. Goodbye, YouTube. I'll see you in the next part.